Good evening, everybody. Spa, the word so commonly used today. You kind of find a spa today in every corner of India today. I first thought it only related to beauty and well-being, but you also have car spas. And I guess cars also need beautification. So it was very confusing for me in the beginning because 26 years back, when I was not even aware of the beauty industry, I just hit upon the concept that if one has to just make cosmetics from food, and that's what struck me when I started making products on my own. So if somebody had to offer you a meal made of cetyl alcohol, hydrogen peroxide, or probably some of the names which I can't even pronounce, would you have it? Not really, simply because you're very cautious about what you eat. But aren't you cautious about what goes into your body? So it makes sense to think of what we apply onto our bodies. More important is when we eat food, it goes through a digestive process. But when we apply, it goes full stream into your bloodstream. And what more can be more toxic and more harmful? But no connection is drawn between what we apply and what we eat, or what are the illnesses occurring of what we apply. So I hit upon this idea that I'm going to make products, whereas I knew in India there were stalwarts who were kind of making products out of cucumber and probably brighteners like carrot seed and things like that. I decided to just grind it and apply it. Difficult task, but yes, it takes me the entire morning, and I'll be honest, it's not only me, but my husband who does the grinding work too. And today in Bombay, we have 4 centers, so daily we grind the stuff, be it for a shampoo, or for a conditioner, or for a bleach. It can be just plain almonds, or it can be a pistachio pack, or it can be something for your hair. So every day there are bottles made out of, of course I use proper glass bottles where I store in the juices made from various fruits and flowers that goes for hair and as well as for skin. In fact, I have a lot of patients, even those suffering from cancer, who are coming to me and asking me after chemo, how could they revive their hair? And it has really worked. Of course, they are not all out in the open saying that we are going through this problem, but they all meet me in person and then we treat them. So I'm happy to say that 26 years, 4 centers, I have clients all over the world. And the only thing which I feel I'm lacking at is I can't probably open centers because I first need to train people to make these products. Whereas you have spas in so many ways. You can have a hydro spa, you can have a water spa, a marine spa, a seaweed spa. I think the world has done a lot of research and have gone ahead. I agree with the rest of my participants here on the panel, and they will probably give us an idea of the various spas they are handling and how they have also reached a goal. So probably we can take it from here.
My name is Rensha Draganis. I am the mother of 4 grown children and a proud granny of 4 grandchildren. I started doing healing work many, many years ago, purely with Reiki, energy. Started with crystals, aromatherapy, and all those beautiful, beautiful things that we just want to heal the world. The universe always has a way of taking us into places or spaces where we need to go. And one day I was approached to do a body wrap for a hotel spa. I was totally nervous because I didn't know what to do. I've never had a body wrap myself other than working with people, and like you, make my own things at home. While South Africa went through a very difficult time, I also worked on life coaching and just helping people to get empowered and ready to go through a transitional process. Massage therapy for me is very much happy moments. I always call it SPA, self-care practice always. Because when we take care of ourselves, we will always be healthy. Heal thyself, if you break the words down. And so a part of just doing the massage and the life coaching, I always say oxytocin is one of those wonderful hormones we all need to have a little bit more of. And we know that with massage and just loving and caring for someone, oxytocin is stimulated in the body. So that whole process of balancing your hormones, doing something more in a spa treatment was important for me. So I looked at plants and how we can use plants in our healing modalities. So when I made the very first body wrap, I worked with a traditional healer, and we used something called, in South Africa, called an African potato plant. And as luck had it, not at the time, there was a little boy who visited a spa, and he had psoriasis with his little toenails falling off, bleeding little feet. And all this child ever wanted was to have a swim in the swimming pool. The spa therapist gave the mother a few scoops of this body wrap and said, go and try and use it. And as Faith had it, within 3 days, his psoriasis cleared up, and his little feet stopped bleeding, and he could wear shoes. And that's 3 days of psoriasis. In my world, I call that a bit of a miracle. And I knew then that there was a bigger purpose for what I do in therapy work. So, being the person I am, I have to research all the time, study, study, study. Looking at the body from a more holistic perspective, I also got to realize that whatever goes onto the body can actually harm us really lots. We all know about the paraben scares, the propylene glycol, all those sort of things that are foreign estrogens that can harm us, that can cause cancers. As much as people say it can't, I do believe it does. We all know the value of balancing our estrogen in our body and stay away from foreign estrogens. Spa industry, I think, is moving away from this sort of pampering experiences to more holistic approaches where it's almost like your first call or your first access to being well. Because a lot of people don't really understand their body, neither do they listen to their body. So when we don't feel okay or we feel a little bit stressed, we go to a spa. And going to a spa, our language of trying to say I need help says I'm stressed, I need to have a pampering session. That's part of the self-care. But we can also harm people when they come to a spa. If your therapists don't understand the muscular system, if they don't understand touch, we can harm. If what goes onto our body is full of chemicals, we harm, we're not healing. And for us in our spas, we've got 5 beautiful holistic spas. Our therapists go through intense training on energy healing and understanding what goes inside products. It's always been my sort of vision that a therapist can refer our clients back onto doctors that are focused more on molecular pharmacology, where they can have support while they have their skincare. We create products, and for instance, niacin is my absolute favorite at the moment, and the value of having that in a serum while you supplement that is fabulous. So working with your sort of more alternative approaches based on what goes onto the body, what's happening in the spa, is very much our approach, and I've got a sense that the spa industry can play a very big role in healing.
Thank you. My name's Sam Foster. I'm from Australia originally, but now based in Thailand. And my journey into spa and wellness was a little different. I started off in advertising for many years, advertising and sort of market research, but I was studying spa and wellness as a hobby. I had been allergic to just about everything as a kid, and then I was cured through food therapy by a naturopath. And so I just started studying food, and that led to herbs, and that led to massage, and that led to aromatherapy, and that led to cosmetic science, and that led to all these things. And then I thought, oh my gosh, why am I spending 80 hours a week in advertising and then trying to squeeze in this around it? So I took a 75% pay cut and became a spa manager for a day spa in Sydney. And from there, because of my advertising background, I got taken into Asia as a spa consultant, where I started setting up spas for different types of businesses. And it was working with day spas, club spas, hotel and resort spas, health resorts, even nowadays entire wellness communities. And so, whereas these lovely ladies are fully immersed in the healing day to day, I very much apply it as a business. And one of the reasons I was excited to have this talk with you today is to actually explore, well, what do we mean by spa? Because every country that I work in, the meaning is different. In some places, it's very much beauty, manicure, pedicure, facial, slimming. In other places, particularly in Asia, it's got a lot more emphasis on massage and traditional therapies and working with the herbal traditions there. My core business, nowadays I run a company called Destination Spa Management. So we set up and run health resorts. And so my version of a spa has maybe this much, massage, facial, etc. And most of it is nutrition and fitness and holistic therapies and medicine and physiotherapy. And so I think my role on the panel today is actually to be devil's advocate a little bit and to say, you know, how are we broadening, or how could we, with the topic spa and its potential for health, how can we broaden what we do to embrace a much more integrated way of working together? Sorry, I'm aware of time, but I've been asked. We have a fifth panelist who's just joined, apparently, Miss Tubia Amori. Oh, okay, hi. If you want to join us on stage, but.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry for being a little late, stuck in the traffic, but it's a pleasure to be here this evening and telling you all a little bit about my journey that has been in this industry. I started my spa in 2011. I come from a background which is more of the film industry because of my grandfather, Mr. Kamal Amrohi. So I was basically into production, and spa has been something that has always been a very interesting field for me, but at the same time I was very inclined towards astrology. So the whole concept of bringing a spa along with astrology is what I came up with. And I studied astrology, I studied a little about spas, and that's how I collaborated both the concepts, and that's how I came up with the spa, which is Rasi Spa, based on zodiac signs. So I think that's been my journey to know about the spa industry, and to showcase how the astrology world can be linked to the wellness industry and the healthcare industry. Thank you.
My friends call me Mumi. There's a reason for it. I write poetry, but I also love cows. So that's where the Mumi comes from. And I was given this name by Ian McFarlane, the owner of the Ubuntu Wellness Center. And today I want to bring to you a story from Africa. The Ubuntu story, told to us by our banyan tree. No one knows the secret of how the sacred banyan tree took root in the mother city of the southern tip of Africa. But her message is clear. So many who seek her shade of tranquility, peace, and balance know this. She chose her messenger, Ian McFarlane, a man with a heart overflowing with love, who knows the art of nurturing. When he was ready to hear her, the tree reached out to Ian and said, "Here, take this gift, the gift of Ubuntu. It is the gift of true humanity. It speaks of belonging, of connection, of caring. It will give you seeds to plant in the hearts of people, seeds that will germinate a new world. Go forth and plant these seeds. Expand the mind through transformational journeys that will take you to new and unknown places within, and journeys that will take you to beautiful spaces without. Have them appreciate the earth and its beauty, the animals and their peace, the people and their colors. Reset your minds with earth's medicine and find the truth that lives inside of you. May you become still with sunrise and sunset, and may you tune to the vibration of biosounds. Allow yourselves to touch life, tell new stories, grow and expand in spirals that regenerates life. Empower your bodies. May you restore the flawless natural system that is self-correcting. Ubuntu nutrition will help you to clean and renew your bodies into balance. May only fresh fruit and vegetables nurture your body in the name of compassion towards animals and compassion towards your own body. Ubuntu eating is the single most important step that humanity will take to save itself. Touch and connect. Invigorate your bodies so you can feel passion for life. Reconnect to the sensory so you can know yourselves again. Become sensitive and know that the feelings are yours and they do not tell lies. Breathe life into your bodies so that your souls may spiral. Let pure oxygen fill you up, regenerate cells, and clean out what is no longer needed. Accepting the gifts Ubuntu brings, step by step, will transform the air you breathe into pure life force. Life cannot be bottled or boxed. It is always in movement. Allow your body to move physically so that it will move you within. Keep your muscles supple and long so that you do not become tired of living life. Awaken the divine feminine. Let her beauty of being overwhelm you so that life becomes a work of art. Together, man and woman, let her envisage the path so that your masculine steps are guided by her love and nurturing. Procreate in total awareness so that your offsprings may become complete. Clean, strong body, mind, and soul will grow healthy babies. De-school parents so that children can see the world with new eyes, so that they do not lose their sensitivity towards the natural flow of life, so that their minds will not be programmed with irrelevant information, but that they will learn the real in a real world. Only in this way will they reconnect to nature and take in their rightful place in the circle of life. May all unite in community, and may all be included in your journey forward. Show compassion to yourselves, to the earth and her children. Connect, belong. You are because I am Ubuntu. And only when all stands united under my branches will the fruits of life be enjoyed. Vasudev Kutumbakan, we are one family in the spirit of ahimsa, respect for all living things and avoidance of violence towards all. Thank you.
Well, a spa today is an extension of a beauty salon also. This is so prevalent in India, I do not know about your countries, but what I feel that one should really be concerned about creating a spa for wellness and having a salon for various beauty treatments is completely different. The word spa is very attractive and has attracted a lot of people to take up the name. So I wish there is a lot of care, taken in this aspect, that people are concerned about what they use and make sure that it is so safe that even children can use it. At my place, probably when I serve them a plate, I actually don't serve them, but when my attendant goes with the treatment tray, which is made of beetroot juice and various other juices. So the first question a client asked me, am I supposed to eat it? So that's when I realized, well, I'm just doing what I really wanted. Using food in all aspects, and you can use every fruit and vegetable to bring out the best in you. I could name a few. I know this is not relevant, but starting from beetroots, one can use it for dandruff. And I've found, in fact, a lot of results from it. I've used apple cider vinegar along with celery juice for hair washes. I've used stuff like pistachios, almonds, everything edible, all the nuts, even walnuts for hair. And today we have products which definitely have one element of this natural ingredient. But what about the other preservatives added to it? Does that not reduce the potency of this one natural element that one is what is added to this? So I feel, I don't know, I mean, what is the product that you are using, Samantha?
Depends which project you're talking about. And the beauty of the work that I do is every single spa that we do is different. Some we have are cosmetic medi-spas and we need to use the cutting-edge cosmeceutical products. Others are completely natural, and we grow it on our own organic farms. We make it ourselves, and that's all we use. And so in terms of products, it's the full spectrum. And I think that actually raises an important point for the spa industry, is that, as you say, Dr. Shetty, the word has become sort of used everywhere, and I think we need to start getting very clear in our segmentation. One of the things that used to really bother me when I first came to Asia as a spa consultant is the copycat syndrome. I would come over, we would create a spa from scratch, spend 6 to 12 months doing it, and then 3 weeks later, a spa down the road would come out copying the same thing. And I think the industry, if we're really going to meet the needs out there, the demand out there, and make a difference to people's lives, we actually need to come up with clear segments and target markets and meet the needs of them. So, for example, I'm a firm believer in natural products. I absolutely love and believe in natural products. We do absorb it through our skin, so if we can eat it, then it's safe to put on our skin. But at the same time, we've also got target markets who do need things that are more medically or pharmaceutically active. So I don't necessarily believe every spa must be 100% natural. The same that we've got some spas that use Ayurvedic formula, we've got others that use TCM formula, we've got others that use Western herbal medicine. And so I'm a firm believer in the product and services must fit the objectives of the target market and their needs. So even though my personal preference is for 100% natural and preferably out of my own organic garden, it's not always the case in every business that we do.
So we've got our own laboratory and we formulate all our own products. We do use biotechnology often, but we also look at what would go into those pre-formulated actives. Absolutely no chemicals. I'm a firm believer that with good nutrition and good food, our skincare is secondary to being pretty and beautiful. So skincare, really, the treatment is to do it internally first, and then externally is supporting the skin. That's just my belief system. We also use homeopathy principles in what we do. So I use radionics. I don't know if you're familiar with radionics. So we do therapy imprints into our products, and hopefully in the near future we'll be able to allow people to come to our spa and have their products activated with their own imprint. So for me, it is about nutrition, supplementation, and skincare has to be clean. We've got to preserve our liver. We cannot afford to damage our endocrine system, my language here today. We have to keep those hormones balanced, especially females. So keep it clean for me, absolutely.
We don't have a big focus on product, but products should always be natural. And always focus on cleaning out before you put more on top. I think the system can auto-correct, and that if we keep our systems clean, that, and even through a very ancient practice that you have in India, like fasting, that brings a lot of healing in the body. So yeah, natural products, but not focused on products, but rather focused on cleaning out the system.
I truly believe that natural products are the things these days, but we do get a lot of clients at our spa who want instant results, who want technologies along with the spa treatments. And with a lot of skin things happening, like your aging and the acne things according to the climate in India and especially in Bombay, we do get a lot of people who say that give us results with one treatment. And we often face this issue in explaining this to them, that what you eat, what the lifestyle you live, if you're practicing things like yoga, probably, those things are the things that really help you in getting what you want to achieve eventually for your skin. And it's not a one process step. It's a process that goes on for a long time that shows results on your skin. So I think the more natural things that you apply or you have as eatables, I think that's what will reflect on your skin. And yes, less chemicals and more natural is, I think, the way that we should promote in this.
So I've actually got a question for the panellists, and that is, apart from the fact that there's obviously differences in spa. So spa in Europe has come from hydrothermal with Salus per Aquam, health through water. Spa in Asia has come through massage, traditional therapies. As we said, other Western places are more beauty-oriented. So spa, we know there's differences out there. But the projects that I'm going into now, everyone's pretty much just crossing out the word spa and putting wellness across the top of it. And I would, and that actually ties into our topic today, which is spa and its potential for health. So I'd actually like the panelists' opinion as to what's your definition of health and how are our spas today contributing to that?
So I'm going back to where I started with working with your own biorhythms, skincare that we use, and time of the month that females would go to spa. So if we look at our 28-day cycles, 3 days before the full moon, 3 days after the full moon, or 3 days before your cycle starts, is a wonderful time to go and have vitamin C treatments. So it just works with that cellular renewal sort of process. And it's also a wonderful time to do water therapy, because if you follow the moon cycles, we also know that at the full moon, the magnetic pull on Earth is so much stronger. So when we do that kind of therapy work in our spas, we're going to support our whole system a little bit more. So definitely, for me, it's about that whole biorhythm, working with the cycles that's happening in your own body, and at what time can we apply what nutrition. Like your vitamin C at higher dosages, your serums for those 3 to 6 days boost the skin, and your water works as well, so in my world.
That's nice. Well, would anybody like to ask any questions? Yes. Are you ready to answer?
Well, Samantha has summarized very well the word spa because it means different at different culture and different locations. I run an Ayurveda wellness center or Ayurveda center in Mysore, in Karnataka here. And by profession, I am a medical doctor. And recently we opened a center in the USA, and this Ayurveda center simply didn't appear to be the right word to use or the right name to use it. So we called it as Synergy Organic Wellness. So again, you mentioned about the salon, you mentioned about various other names, wellness and all. They seem to blend seamlessly depending on where you do and what you do. And again, the Rashi Zodiac Spa, she uses astrology, and somebody uses this vitamin C thing, and new things are coming. The dermatologists have derma spas and lasers. You name it. How many things you can include in a spa and how many things really belong in a spa? It's basically an evolving thing. Basically, it is the wellness. At the end of the day, it is the wellness. So we need to define what exactly is the wellness and how much each one of these contribute to the wellness. And in fact, all of these do contribute to the wellness. Only thing is, then there could be some sort of a conflict between the so-called, tomorrow we're going to have this session, the last panel called intangible and the tangible thing. So the modern medicine is mostly like the tangible, and the most of the spa wordings are intangibles. Like for example, just now, I think it's Rencia, is that correct? Yeah. You mentioned about the vitamin C therapy during the full moon, new moon, the magnetic field, and these kind of things. So these are some of the things, they come into the intangible areas rather, and so these are the areas we have to keep defining as we go forward. And as the industry is evolving, which is at a very rapid speed, it is evolving globally. The Indian spa industry is growing at the rate of 17%. Globally, it is 7%. And it is one of the fastest growing industries among all the, compared to all the other industries, really. And there is even a prediction that it will hit a $10 trillion industry in the next 10 years. Right now, it is 3.7 trillion. So I know some of these statistics because I'm the global ambassador for the Global Wellness Institute, and I'm also a think tank member, global think tank member for many of their initiatives. For example, they have an initiative as wellness architecture. Now they are using Vastu principles on the wellness architecture. Sixth Senses is building a $100 million project in Manhattan. That's a $100 million project. They're using Vastu. So there is so much about it. But if you go back to the ancient wisdom, it describes how the wellness or the preventive part of the disease is required and why the diseases manifest in the body and how it should be taken care of. I think we can get some clues over there. If I can recite the one of the shlokas, Sanskrit shlokas, and then I say the meaning, it says, Janmantara kritam papam vyadhirupena badate tat shantihi aushadaihi danaihi japa homa surachanaihi. That is, the karmic imprints we accumulate through the sojourn of our soul expresses in various forms of diseases, and to pacify that we have to give aushadha, the medicine, dana, giving alms, the charities, japas, various mantras and recitations of those, homas, this offering to the fire to pacify various planetary forces, and surarchana, that is the worshipping of various deities. So now you see how vast this wellness gamut is. So the words we are using right now, they're all seem to be evolving right now, and even, for example, pedicure, manicure, and that goes into the salon, and in some places it doesn't belong to the wellness. But in Ayurveda, there is a very systematic way of doing it with the natural herbs and other things, and even just making somebody feel good is part of the wellness also. So you can't just take it away as that it is only a salon part and it doesn't belong into a wellness center. So it is basically whatever you need to do at that particular location and whatever suits the people, you can basically incorporate. But as you said, the spa is a very limited word, but it is being used widely to accommodate various other activities in there. So this is how I feel.
And so is the word wellness being used as a sort of an umbrella for everything, which is true. The problem that creates for us as an industry, though, is no one person can be expert on everything. And so even though we do try in our destination spas, we do try to cross-train. We spend a lot of time cross-training each practitioner in the other modalities so that they understand and can cross-refer. It's something that is, there's been a lot of communication today in the medical forum that I was listening to about a lack of communication between different departments being what creates disconnects and problems in the patient relationships. So if we translate that into wellness and talk guests instead of patients, if we want to give them a seamless experience that solves their whole mind, body, spirit sort of issues, concerns, helps them achieve their goals, we can't just work on massage, we can't just work on nutrition, we can't just work on the environment that they're in. We have to be able to prescribe and sort of stream them all together, which means we have to work very organically and collaboratively. So our industry, I think there's a lot of training and cross-communication that needs to be done. We need to have a lot more of these kind of forums where we can share and connect with people outside of our own narrow disciplines. Sorry, raving.
Yeah, actually exactly what you say. I think wellness for me should be part of the medical taking care of patients. That's why I changed my direction from being classical school medicine prescribing only tablet and medication. I started to see why the patient is sick, why she is feeling whatever she feels. So with you ladies, I am amazed with whatever you said. I studied in Germany, and in Germany we start always with water healing, acupuncture, eating organic. I was eating organic in Germany 30 years, 40 years back. So what I think that your profession should be a part of how a doctor referral another patient to ENT, to cardiologist. I will referral my patient to massagist, facial therapist, acupuncturist, or whatever you call it. But I need a diagnosis. And here is the role of generative functional medicine come. I need to know what that means patient is stressed. Stressed where? On which level? So that's why I took the direction of doing functional medicine, because I can tell you what time is the patient stressed, which kind of stress is she leaking on cortisol, is she low on cortisol, she is high on cortisol, she is having pregnenolone issue. Hormones should not be taken for something granted. Hormone is the key of all our function. I don't have hormone, I don't function. We need to start having diagnosis and then referral the patient upon to that. We were talking about adrenal fatigue. What does that mean, adrenal fatigue? Which stage is this? 1, 2, 3? How I treat it? I treat it with herbal medication, with hormones, with letting the patient quit her job. I need the whole circle, which is I call lifestyle, which is medication maybe, supplementation, lifestyle, good eating, good environment, and exactly ladies and other doctors like you. So we need to start working preventively. We need to start working before the sickness started. I am 59 and a half cancer survivor. I don't think that my classical medicine would have helped me without the functional approach to look the way I look and to feel the way I feel. So we need to change the way we think. The new generation need, like we spoke about the medical tourism, and I was a little bit sad because medical tourists did not solve the problem of this African lady who she could not send the patient abroad. medical tourism send the doctors there to the country which is poor, which they are not able to treat patients and help there. Medical tourism, we are talking about billions. It's all about money, and I will be very sad when my profession as a doctor becoming touristic issue. So we need to start having a panel, diagnosis, treatment in every single natural way, far away from the pharma industry, and let them close. I don't care. All political now, they are afraid that pharma industry can go down, because if they go down, it will be a lot of people without business, no money, blah, blah, blah. But I don't care. This is not my issue. I am doctor, you are a healer, right? So we need to go in that direction and let the pharma company produce me medication which is not making me cancer. After 10 years, they discover hormones make cancer. Not hormone make cancer. The product what your majesty produced cause cancer because it's not natural. So we need to change the whole way of thinking and helping each other globally, how we can live with dignity and live clean and live longer.
I think what's also been happening with spas, sorry, there we go, is that even spas has become tourist destinations. So it's become almost, what would you call it, relaxation stations. And so what we try and do, we supply about 500 spas, and we do signature treatments for each different location. So we also look at how can we use an experience and incorporate a health aspect to it. So we'll find a location and what herbs grows in that space. We'll use those particular herbs or plants and create their signature. We have a hotel spa, so we know that with males we have a lot of heart problems, there's a lot of traveling. So we've created a treatment called a cardio pulse. And with your cardio pulse, we work around the heart muscle. We work with hot-cold water therapy and oxygen. So we always make sure that we have oxygen as well. Female treatments with excess estrogen, totally avoid lavender. We all love lavender. You cannot use lavender in the spa if you don't know your hormonal profile. So those are the little bits of responsibility that we need in the spa industry, is to actually understand your biology. Yeah.
Our Ubuntu mother company is called MediSpa. And in fact, that's exactly the way we work. We do have medical practitioners who do diagnosis, treatments, and control, and work together with other medical staff. And then also within the wellness clinic, do alternative, that should be natural therapies, not alternative. I don't know why it's called alternative, but like a biosound and Reiki and other energetic therapies that can then be measured, because we also have medical staff.
Does anyone have any other questions or comments they'd like to make?
Thank you very much. I think we are almost to the end of the program, and the awards still are pending, so will the organizers take over? She wants to say something, I'm sorry.
It was a very interesting conversation, this morning about insurance. I just wanted to mention this. In my years of being a psychoneuroimmunologist, we did a study on patients who questioned their doctors. They had an 80% more survival rate than patients that said, yes, doctor, thank you, doctor, I'll take a doctor. The ones who went out on a limb and said, I'm not taking that, tell me why I have to take it, why do I have to take this specific treatment, they were the ones that actually, the difficult patients were the ones that survived. Thank you.